Marty!
Hey, what's up?
Here he is, everybody. The man, the myth, the legend himself from Bobaflex, Marty McCoy.
The man, the myth, the legend. That's all I
How about that? Dude, I was just sitting, I'm like, damn. I'm like, I wonder what's going on. And I was just saying to my co-host, like, I literally have all the interviews I've done sitting at my desk with everybody's phone number right on it in case of an emergency like this. So I've been sitting here paging through, like, 2 years of interviews till I came across yours. I'm like, all right, let's see if I can text them and it'll work. And here you are. So it worked.
Sorry about that. I thought you were calling me, man.
It's all good. It's all good. So, dude, you guys got to be freaking excited. The new album's out.
Totally excited. Extremely proud, excited, ready to hit the road and show everybody what we got. We've been out on the road for a little while, and we have 2 weeks off, which is a strange thing in this day and age in a touring rock band, but really, really excited, man. It's my favorite album that we've done. It felt really good to be a band again and everybody sober and focused and moving forward on the same page. It was great.
Cool. Now, you said you got 2 weeks off. I was going to say, like, you guys didn't seem to, like, really take much time off. Or am I mistaken?
No.
Like, yeah, like, how did you guys get the album done with so much time on the road?
We wrote a lot on the road, and then when we did have time off, we took 2 months off, actually, to write and record. So we rented a rehearsal space, a really nice rehearsal space. I mean, I felt like I was in Metallica. I couldn't believe how nice the rehearsal space was. Every day I was excited to go there with hardwood floors and a nice restroom and a kitchen and all that stuff. And we just locked the doors. We had 24-hour access, and we used every minute of it.
Now, which part is more important right there? Is the bathroom more important or the kitchen?
Bathroom.
Absolutely. A man after my own heart.
I can get 72 hours without eating if we're on to something.
That's
Don't even
funny.
think about it. I'm like, oh my God, like we all got just real crazy, and like we would show up at 9 a.m. and write and turn around and it'd be midnight and everybody's girlfriends and wives calling them, where are you? Is everything okay? It's like, oh gosh, it's midnight. There's no windows in the rehearsal space, so we wouldn't even know. And so definitely a bathroom. Kitchen's cool, bathroom's necessity.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Bathroom would be the only thing that stopped us from writing.
Now,
upon occasion marijuana breaks, which is good for creativity.
Well, I guess that should lead to the first single you guys got going on and the video out now. Mama Don't Take My Drugs Away.
We've gotten some flack for that song. People thinking that it's a pro-drug song, but it's definitely not. We've been around a lot of people. We've lost band members due to drugs, and a lot of friends and people really close to us that we've lost through drugs. And what I tell people is like it's not a anthem. What was that?
I don't know. Sound like you cut out.
Huh? Okay, something said you were now. Some British lady spoke, like a computer voice. But it's not really a drug anthem. It's just a story about a guy coming down off drugs and freaking out and kicking the apartment over and screaming at his loved ones. And we've all seen that happen a million times.
Right, yeah. And your brother is playing that part in the video.
Yes.
And he does it pretty well.
Insane. Well, that's what I say. Everybody's sober now, and people are like, wow, your brother did a really good job acting. I was like, well, he's just kind of reenacting. He's never been on the really, really hard stuff, but he's definitely partied with the best of them, and I can't believe that he's still alive. Now he's good. Now he's totally good, but yeah, he's a pretty crazy person.
Now, you said you guys have been getting a lot of flack for the song. Did you expect people were going to take the song the wrong way?
Yeah. Any song that we've ever put out, people like Bury Me With My Guns On is about shooting God and the devil in the face, and I can't believe I stood in Utah in the radio station, in a Mormon-based radio station, and they played the song and didn't get, like a lot of people didn't get the concept of the song, but the people that did, if you go to our YouTube channel and look up the comments on the song, it's just debates going on for months about the guy's talking about shooting God in the face, and it's like, yeah, I am. Absolutely am. It's a story. I never actually went to heaven and shot God in the face and then shot the devil. It's just a story.
But don't you love that those, like, deep down? I mean, when you have, like, a little buzz of controversy like that, I mean, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
I think so. I think my thing is, like, when I was a kid, rock and roll music was dangerous and scary, and I thought Motley Crue was satanic, and I definitely thought Wasp was satanic, and I wasn't allowed, my parents were pretty cool, but I remember my own personal feelings. I felt bad for listening to the record and listening to Hell's Bells and Highway to Hell and all that stuff, and I was never raised in a really religious family, but being from West Virginia and all my neighbors and everybody telling me that you're going to go to hell and the devil's real and God's real, it's like I felt really strange listening to these records, and it was this really exciting thing, and that's what I thought rock and roll was supposed to be, was dangerous and scary and sexy and all at the same time, instead of inspirational and get knocked down, get back up music. Sick of that.
See, now I don't feel alone, because I remember being like 8 or 9 years old probably, and getting AC/DC Let There Be Rock. I think it was either Let There Be Rock
Absolutely.
or If You Want Blood, You Got It. And I forget which album the song is on, but it's Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. And I remember loving this song, but being so scared because I was a Catholic schoolboy and thinking I'm going to hell because I like this song.
Classic Catholic schoolboy. Absolutely. I remember the same thing. I remember watching Guns N' Roses on the music awards and them cussing and drinking Jack Daniels in my jackets. That's disgusting. I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like, that's awesome.
Right?
I knew it. As soon as I was like, you never know what's going to happen with those guys. It could implode, or it could turn into the greatest rock show you've ever seen. And I remember thinking that's what it was like. You know what I mean? That's what it was supposed to be like. And then, like I said, I'm sorry, I'm taking a leak while I'm on the phone.
Oh, that's all right.
Sorry about that. But it's like I listen to not all music now, but a lot of music that's considered rock and roll. It's not edgy anymore. It's
right.
Like I said, if you fall down, you can get back up. I'm like, okay, great, thanks. Sounds like it should be on an inspirational car commercial or something. It's like I want stuff that people's parents say, you don't listen to that, and then the kids love it.
Do you think that's really something that's really missing from
Absolutely.
the world of rock? Is that dangerous side?
Absolutely. Why do you think rap blew up so big? Because those guys are dangerous and scary, and it's a world we don't understand, and it intrigues us.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. I mean, it's like bands like Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie. I just saw Rob Zombie. We just played with Rob Zombie at the Loudwire Fest in Colorado, and he's just still dangerous and relevant and scary and awesome, and it was great. And saw Marilyn Manson, and I remember, I wasn't really a kid. I mean, I was still a kid, but I wasn't too young when Marilyn Manson came out, and I remember people protesting, just thinking, this is god-awful. And it's like, this is selling out stadiums, and kids want to see what's going on. And it's like, it's an intelligent music, and it's out there, and it's Alice Cooper, and it's scary, and dangerous, and they're talking about sex and drugs and rock and roll. And it's like, that's, there's so many people on drugs and so many crazy things going on. It's like, there's an audience for it, I promise you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is.
Absolutely. I keep thinking, too, like, is in the world of rock and roll, is the dude from Puddle of Mud, I think he's like the most dangerous rocker out there now, because every time you turn around, he's the one that's getting arrested.
He's crazy. I was with him. We did a show with him in Michigan one year, and he wrecked a golf cart and messed himself up real bad right before the show, went to the hospital, came back, played the show, rocked. But I remember wanting to take a picture, and his tour manager came over and said, please do not take a picture of this asshole. Oh, I'm sorry, can I cuss? Am I allowed to?
Yeah. You're cool.
Okay, cool. Said, please do not take a picture of this asshole wrecking this golf cart and being taken off. So out of respect to the tour manager and Wes, I did not take the picture. But I remember constantly around that guy, and just crazy stuff happened. And I believe I don't think you should be that crazy. I think you should probably hold it together a little bit. But it was awesome. I like my rock stars out there, and now with social media and stuff, everybody has to put a judgment down and has to say, oh, if you say one thing politically incorrect or whatever, you're wiped off the face of the planet, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, Hulk Hogan, that was messed up on Hulk Hogan's part. But
that whole thing.
Imagine somebody recording your daily conversations when you're angry or when you're drunk and angry, or in a traffic jam or getting cut off in traffic, or just imagine if somebody recorded your every move and then played it for the world. They would go, get that piece of shit out of here.
None of us would be, none of us would be like, hey.
I mean, a lot of us don't say the things that Hulk Hogan said. You know what I mean? That was pretty messed up. But I've said some things that people probably would frown upon, and if it was on television, gotta get that guy out of here, man. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah, I just can't understand with the whole Hogan thing. Like, that video came out how many years ago, and now all of a sudden they he said this in the video? Like, stop. Like, why didn't you say that years ago?
Right. It's the political incorrectness, and I mean, I get it. It's like, we recently just had some things go on with the band where we had some guitars stolen. I don't know if you saw that or not. 2 days ago, we had a guy break into our trailer and steal all of our guitars, like $10,000 worth of guitars.
No.
And we tracked them down. We found them. We got them back in less than 10 hours.
Oh, wow.
But the part of it that weirded me out the most was, I got a hold of the police officers, and the police officers were great. They were great to me. I mean, I'm covered in tattoos, and I have long black hair, and I look like a crazy person, but they were all big fans of the band. I am not a black person. This is where it all changes. And when we went in and got the guitars from it was a white kid that stole the guitars, but we went in and found the guy, and it was a level of poverty that I've never seen in my life. So, when the kid that stole the guitars, it was a level. I'm from West Virginia. I'm not from a rich family, and I've seen poverty, but I've never seen it like this before in my life. And then to see the police officers who were very good to me have to deal with this kind of thing every single day, and how angry and mean they were. It was just a really weird thing to see. Like, all the things that you see on television and all the stereotypes on both sides were so true and so glaring in your face. It was very, very strange.
That's wild.
Because I'm in a rock band and I get harassed for drugs and stuff, and I never had drugs on me. I'm not stupid. I don't travel with drugs. I don't do anything but pot. But if I'm going to travel from place to place, I have enough pot that I can swallow and won't get in trouble with because it's illegal. You know what I mean? And I get it.
Right.
I've been searched on the side of the highway and told, I know you got drugs in here, but I've never been treated like that. And it was and nothing against the police officers. They did a great job, but it's just like, man, it was very strange. It was very, very strange. And it was something that I saw, that the privilege that I never even knew I had. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't get harassed by cops. I don't get talked to by people like that. I don't have to steal things in order to feed people. I don't have to, you know what I mean? It's like, I've been down on my luck before, never like that before, ever.
Wow.
So it was pretty wild, man. It was a pretty weird thing. And they asked me, the prosecuting attorney asked me if I wanted to press charges, and I said no. It's like, 19-year-old kid stole my guitars. It's a bunch of wood and electric, and I got them back. I mean, I was angry at the time, but when I got them back and had a little bit of time to think about it, I was like, I'm not putting that kid in prison because it was, over $10,000 is a huge felony. I was like, I'm not putting that kid in prison. I'm not doing it. Maybe he'll learn his lesson. Maybe he won't. But I'm not going to be the one that has him sitting in jail, because jail doesn't help anybody. Prison doesn't help anybody. We all know that. I'm getting political.
Dude, dude, you know what? I give you all the credit in the world. I don't know. I'd be like, son of a bitch. I would have pressed charges, but I could be a dick.
Seen what I saw. I think if you'd have seen what I saw, you probably wouldn't. And like I said, nothing against the police. I'm saying just the level of poverty. The level of poverty, and kid was uneducated and it didn't have a chance in the world. His mom was coming out yelling, and I told him not to buy his guitars, knowing it was a blatant lie. It was like another planet. It was like I was on another planet. 6 miles, 8 miles from my house.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was
It's
heavy,
crazy.
man, and
It's
everyone's
crazy.
mad at me. You're not going to press charges? You're not going to press charges? I'm like, no. When they steal your guitars, you can do whatever you want.
Wow. Well, hey, at least you got them back.
Yeah, absolutely, through detective work and Facebook. With the cops are telling us, great job, guys. I can't believe you actually did this. We never get stuff back like this. It's very seldom that these things should be gone in another state by now. But we put it up. It happened at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I chased the guy down. They got away. They were in a car. And then we put it up on Facebook, and 890,000 people saw the post, and thousands upon thousands of shares and posts and everything. So about 5 hours later, a guy hits me up on Facebook and said, Marty, I just read your post on Facebook. Not 20 minutes later, did a guy hit me up, private message, a friend of mine, or a guy, acquaintance that I know, wanting to sell me these guitars. So we set it up, and we're like, yeah, that's how it worked. We set it up. The guy said, yeah, I'll be over in a little bit. What's your address? I've only been there once. He gave the address. I have all the text messages of the guy saying we just hit a trailer in front of this house, cleared full of band equipment. I have all these great guitars. And so we went over there, and we got them back with the police. And it was pretty crazy. Wow. It was like a sting. Like, they were watching stuff come out of this garage. They were watching all kinds of stolen stuff come out of this garage. And then when one of the guitar cases come out and went into the back of a truck, they pounced on them.
Dude, how many times? I mean, you hear about this more and more too. People's band equipment getting stolen. People, especially like if they're on the road and it gets stolen on the road. I mean, to get that back, I mean, that you guys lucked out.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. My bass player and I lived together, and I woke him up. I said, dude, somebody broke in the trailer. I chased them down, chased their car down. I couldn't get a license plate. It was, 5 in the morning, and it was dark, and I couldn't get the license plate. And he woke up, and we did the whole thing, filled out the police report and everything, and we just kept saying to each other, we're going to get them back. We're getting them back. I mean, it's a big city. Columbus, Ohio is a big city.
Yeah.
And it was, it didn't feel like it was going to be very easy, but for some reason I kept saying, we're going to get them back. Even the radio station in Columbus, the Blitz, called me at 6 in the morning. I did an interview on the Blitz. I mean, so everybody, the outcry of fans and friends and people that are fed up with it, just reached out so far that there was no way he was getting away. If he mentioned it out loud, he was going to get popped with those guitars, and he did.
That's freaking awesome. Good for
you. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a really strange. Hello?
Nick.
Hey, babe. Yeah, you were just mentioning, I was just saying in our private chat, this just happened. I just saw it on the news again during the summer sickness tour, Authority Zero. They had their truck, their whole unit, all their equipment, everything stolen. Yeah.
I've seen
absolutely
that happen
insane, man. They just lose everything.
Yeah, I've seen that happen too, where they take the entire van, trailer, everything. Usually when we're on tour, every time we're on tour, one of us sleeps in the vehicle to make sure that doesn't happen. Because the guitars that got stolen, my bass player had a 72 Rickenbacker, which you cannot get ever again.
Right.
$2,000 guitar. My guitar player has a Les Paul. Another Les Paul got stolen. The guitars that I play are guitars that I got an endorsement from 10 years ago, because when we were on the Mudvayne tour, we got robbed, and my favorite guitar got stolen. So Michael Kelly came through and said, heard your guitars got stolen here. We want to give you a deal. So those are the guitars that got stolen this time.
Oh, man.
So it's just crazy. And I mean, I don't know. It's like I think if the economy was better, this probably wouldn't be happening too much. As much. It's probably always happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
My thing is I live in a pretty decent part of town in Columbus, and it just happens everywhere. There's no way around it. If they want in your stuff, they're going to get it.
That's crazy. I hear that, and I just think to myself, because I play guitar too, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do. I would freak. I would feel so
my bass player
violated.
My bass player Jimmy puked when he found out it was gone. His mother called him crying because they all, when he joined the band, they got him this bass, this 76 Rick, and he's like a music purist and wants instruments that were handmade, and you can't get any more.
Mm-hmm.
He threw up, and when
I believe it.
I'd already done all these things and interviews and everything, and looking for the guitars and looking for stash places where they may have stashed them in the woods. And my other guitar player hadn't even heard about it. Dave Tipple hadn't even heard about it yet. When he called me, I was like, that was the hard call to make, because it was his Les Paul that he'd bought with his own money and been playing for years and recorded the record on it and all this stuff. And he was in tears. He was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. That's my guitar. It's been his guitar for, 7, 8 years, 9 years that he's played on every day. And
yeah,
it was a weird thing.
Like, something like that. Yeah. I mean, and so you had your guitars for 10 years, and you really can't picture playing, like, it'd be hard just to, like, go, all right, yeah, just go get another guitar. It's not the same.
It is definitely not the same. You have wear marks, and just like the guitars that I have, I don't have to look down when I'm playing and playing live. I played them for so many shows and so many years. It's almost a part of me, and I don't even have to look around. When I break a string and have to grab my backup guitar, man, it's like I'm playing on a snake moving around. I can't figure it out. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, that's funny.
But,
that's
like
funny.
I said, it's pieces of wood and metal, and I didn't feel like, even though I was really angry at the time, once we got him back, I didn't feel like I could put some 19-year-old kid in prison that didn't have a shot in hell in the first place.
Wow.
Then I found out he did something. He arm robbed somebody a month ago, so he's going to prison anyway. So the burden is off my shoulders, and that's, feel good about that, I guess.
You're a better man than I am. I'll tell you that much.
Well, like I said, if you saw what I saw, you'd have been like, okay, here, buddy, here's some money. You want a job?
Oh.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Run.
Wow, that's bad. So, all right, so going back to the new album, actually, and you mentioned your guitarist
track there, man.
That's all right. That's all right. You mentioned your guitarist Dave and bass player Jimmy. This is your first album with those guys.
Yeah, it is. And it was amazing. They did a great job. Like myself, Tommy, and Sean are the veterans in the band, and when they joined the band, we were like, they toured with us forever. I mean, Dave's been in the band 2.5 years. Jimmy's been in the band 1.5 years, and they put their dues in and did the touring and did the hard stuff. So it was like, when it was time to write the record, it's like, this is your band too. We're not going to sit around and say, this is how Bobaflex does it, and you're going to listen and you're going to play what we tell you. We were like, nope, you're in a band. Let's all write songs together, and we did, and it was a lot of fun. We were a rock and roll band. It's that album is 5 people putting their own influences and putting their own spin on things.
And it's called Anything That Moves, and the album cover itself is pretty wild looking. You got this hot girl who looks like she's out of Mad Max, and you have looks like Washington D.C. in the background, completely destroyed. Like, what
Absolutely.
is it that moves that destroyed?
Any album that we've done, not everyone, but most albums that we've done, the title is either violent or sexual, and this one is both. So you can put any word you want in front of anything that moves. You get what I'm saying.
Oh, I get it.
Sex and violence, all wrapped into one.
Sex and violence. It sells.
That's what rock and roll is about. And drugs.
And the drugs. And, Mama, please don't take those drugs away.
Absolutely.
So, all right, and something else, too. It's out on BFX Records. Now, is that your own label?
Yeah, that's Bobaflex Records.
Okay. Because I know we talked about last time, you guys had a lot of trouble in the past, legal stuff and all that, and I figured that was like your own guys' thing now. And I was wondering, are you guys going to look into maybe putting other artists on your label, or?
No, I don't think it benefits anybody. I mean, as far as labels go and stuff, I was like, all our attention and time is devoted into Bobaflex. I mean, if I saw a band that I thought was going to be the biggest thing in the world, I wouldn't put them on our label, because I don't have the time or the resources to handle anything else but 24-hour Bobaflex.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I'd be like, hey, you guys are really good. I'll help produce your album, but as far as marketing and pushing it and giving you the real push that you need, all that money's going into this band that I really like called Bobaflex. So, sorry.
So Bobaflex will always remain number one priority.
Absolutely. We'll never drop ourselves. Never be like, well, guys, we come to an end here. We're just going to be like, you should do another record.
That's awesome. So, and something else, too, like you and your brother, you guys switch off on lead vocals. Is it kind of like a Kiss thing, like whoever writes the song sings it?
No. Sometimes it's just like, actually, Dave Tipple, our guitar player, he sings as well, some leads on some stuff. And it was kind of like a bluegrass thing or like a Pink Floyd thing or something like that growing up. I just thought that's how what bands did. We always said if you can't sing, you can't be in the band. So it was always a thing. When I grew up as a kid, my dad played bluegrass, and they all switched instruments, and they all sang vocals and did all this wild stuff, and I just never thought anything different. And then when I got older, my favorite bands did the same thing, like the Eagles and Kiss and Pink Floyd, and it was just like seemed natural to me.
Right. It's a rarity. You really don't see it much anymore.
No, you don't. And I mean, people always say, "Where did you get this from?" And this is so rare. And it's like, not really. These are the way. I mean, even the Cars had two guys that sang.
Right.
And it used to be that way in the 60s and 70s and stuff. I mean, it is always kind of strange, but like even the Ballroom Blitz and stuff that had several different singers in that one song. And yeah, by Sweet, and I just thought it was great.
Awesome.
So I
very,
just thought
very
it was
cool.
natural. It seemed natural to me.
And look at that. I mean, it's hopefully something that you guys can help inspire, bring back to the music world.
I hope so. It's like, just there's bands coming out now that I'm absolutely falling in love with. So I'm really excited about the way the direction that rock is going, and we just need the radio stations to open back up and quit playing classic rock, and we'll be back on top again.
Yeah, like if every station can be more like Octane on Sirius, the world would be a better place.
Yep. Or JJO in Madison, or the Blitz in Columbus, Ohio, or there's a lot of really cool stations out there that aren't just playing the top 20 rock songs, that are playing all kind of wild stuff and can do whatever they want. And what I've seen with my own eyes is they have the loyal fans. Like JJO in Madison, Wisconsin puts on 4 major events a year and sell them out every time. Talking 10, 15,000 people 4 times a year.
Wow. Dude, I keep hearing more and more. It's weird, like Ohio constantly in the past few months.
Well, there's like 5 major cities in Ohio. Yeah,
crazy. A friend of mine just moved there like a couple weeks ago.
It's great. There's a lot of talent here. I live 5 miles from one of the best studios on the East Coast. My buddy Joe Veers that we did that record at. He's like my best friend. Been working with him since I was like 19, and he owns the board from Olympic Studios in London, which is like the board that everything is made after. And when he purchased the board, he had to wait an extra 2 weeks because Eric Clapton was finishing his record up on it. And that's like 5 miles from my house, and I hang out there all day, every day when I have a chance.
Awesome.
So there's a lot of crazy talent in Columbus, and like I said, there's several major cities within 2 hours of each other in Ohio. And if you can take over Ohio, man, it's like Florida. You can tour Ohio like a country. You can tour Texas like a country, and same thing with Florida and the Midwest. Iowa and Wisconsin and Minnesota, all those great places out there. That if a radio station does well and listens to their fans, it's so flat the signal just rockets for miles and hundreds of miles. They have such a huge fan base. It's awesome.
That's awesome. So you guys kick off your tour next week?
Yeah. I don't know if it's next. I don't pay attention to that anymore. I used to know all the shows and how much we were getting paid and what the back end split was, and now I'm just like, how long is the drive?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys are kicking it off next weekend.
Awesome, good to know.
and if I remember right, it's about a 2-month tour, it looked like.
Yeah, it's usually about what it is. That's about when I start to get burnt. About 2 months, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm burnt out. Time to go home.
But I did not see Philadelphia on there.
I know we're doing Pittsburgh. We've done Dobbs and stuff a couple times in Philly, and I really like it there. But we're starting to get a little larger in Philly, so it's definitely a good market for us. And it's really cool downtown. Really awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys need a bigger stage than Dobbs.
Yeah, like Dobbs is cool. I mean, just being in there and all the people that's played there, and like see the Tool was there, and there's broken cymbals from Nirvana and Soundgarden and all that stuff. It's pretty neat for the history, but man, you can't turn left or right on stage when you got 5 guys in a band. And my drummer's got a drum kit that Neil Peart would be proud of.
Oh, too funny. So, all right, so the new album, Anything That Moves, it's out now, and where can everybody get that?
You can get it iTunes, CD Baby, our merchandise storage is richardsouthern.com. Pretty soon Best Buy. We didn't really go through the distribution side of things because, who sells CDs anymore? But the album pre-sold so well, and that Best Buy and a couple distribution companies were getting a hold of us to, hey, we got a bunch of orders. We need you guys to send us CDs. So we'll be able to get them in the Best Buys here really soon. But, being at 2015 and no one buys CDs anymore, we weren't really concerned with it. But, hey, it's popping back up. And we're going to do vinyl, which you'll be able to get
very cool
offline. Yeah, offline and the interweb.
Yeah, that interweb thing. Cool.
I know. Took off. Who knew? It took off.
Awesome. Marty, I want to thank so much. I hope you guys come to Philly soon. I'm going to play the tune in a little later in the show. It's called Mama Don't Take My Drugs Away. The video's on YouTube. Yep. It's also on the website.
Yep.
Check it out.
It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure, Marty. And I hope no more things get stolen, guys.
Yeah, I got that figured out now. We got a secure place with guns and ammo around, so we're all good. No more stealing our stuff.
Nice. All right, man. Thanks again, dude. I'm glad I got hold of you. And be safe out there and kick some ass.
Always. Promise you that we will always kick ass.
Awesome. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Later.
All right. Take care. All right, everybody. There he goes. Marty McCoy of the band Bobaflex. Like I said, the new album is out now. It's called Anything That Moves. You can go to iTunes. You can go to their website. I'm pretty sure the website is called, this is Bobaflex. Let me just double check. Maybe I'm wrong.